T20 test on one day. India, England, Australia. The four lucky big three-side slayer. What a player! What a player! What a player! Discussing zinger bells and white balls to hells. Baggy greens for long from New South Wales. Is the RPL heaven or hell? Will the 100 fail or do quite well? What a player! What a player! What a player!
Well, we are finally here, just minutes away from the big, much-awaited encounter, India versus Pakistan. This is What a Player Concussion Sub-Series, where we'll be previewing the game between India and Pakistan, which is just about 20 minutes away. News from Dubai is that Pakistan has won the toss and they have elected to field. I have Suman, Aditya, and Vishak with me. Hi, boys. How are we doing?
Can't wait for Babar versus Bumrah. Need that contest.
Aditya, you said you're nervous. Come on, man. Why are you nervous? We're going to thrash them, aren't we?
If we look at the since 2014 World Cup, since the time I think this modern day rivalry started, we have beaten them in I think 6 out of 7 games ICC tournaments, except the Champions Trophy. So theoretically, and I think looking at the teams, obviously India is much better equipped personnel wise. But I feel this toss was very critical in Dubai, especially with the dew coming in. So this has, after losing this toss, I think this has kind of evened out the game to some extent. And also the fact that Pakistan is pretty solid in Dubai and UAE. So I think these two factors have kind of made it slightly more even. Earlier it would have been, I would say, 70-30 in favor of India. Now it would probably be more 55-45 sort of a game.
Vishak, the most updated fan jersey you have with the billion heartbeats and whatnot. First thoughts on the toss before we move on to the playing 11s.
Toss, yeah, we all know about Virat Kohli's luck with the toss. He doesn't win much. But at the end of the day, it's about you don't have a choice at times when you lose the toss. And it might be a blessing at times. You lose the toss, you've been put in. Now, in such pressure games, it will be, if you put the runs on the board, it will always be crucial. So our batting is our strength. And I think we need to bat and get a good score and put the game beyond them, and then hope our bowlers defend it. That's the only hope for now.
Suman, it's very strange this World Cup. This is effectively India's World Cup at a neutral venue, but this is Pakistan's home ground. We've never met them at a World Cup which has been at a neutral ground effectively when none of the test playing nations are there. How much advantage do you think Pakistan have going into this encounter versus India, who just fresh off the IPL?
I think all that goes out of the toss. This encounter, India versus Pakistan, is a on-the-day game. So all the history, all the pressure, everything comes down to this particular day. I think Babar on the toss sounded very, very confident, which is a great sign. I think he exactly knew what he was doing. They announced the 12 a day before. Seems like they are very, very well prepared. And off-air, Sanjay, you and I were talking. I think their experience in the middle order is going to be the differentiator. Shoaib Malik, Hafiz, I think their experience will come in handy, and the youngsters in the bowling department are going to test our batting lineup. And if we can get to somehow 170, I think match on. I'm really looking forward for likes of Babar Azam, Bumrah, likes of Hardik Pandya and Asad Rauf. We have seen that there is a history of Hardik Pandya going after the bowling. So really, really looking forward for a close contest. Hopefully it's not one-sided.
Yeah. So coming on to the playing 11, Aditya, as Suman pointed out, they announced their playing 11, playing 12 effectively yesterday. Lots of bowling options. Just going through the team, you have Babar and Rizwan at the top. Fakhar Zaman, my favorite player. Mohammad Hafiz, Shoaib Malik, both will probably chip in with a few overs. Imad Wasim, Shadab Khan, all-rounders, Asif Ali, Hassan Ali, Haris Rauf, Shaheen Afridi. effectively they got a very deep batting lineup and 6 or 7 bowling options, looking very settled side, Aditya, to me.
Yeah, the batting lineup seems to be settled, especially Rizwan and Babar at the top. I think they have consistently for the past 6 months or so. They have been probably one of the top two most successful opening pairs in T20. So no problems there. Then Fakar coming in at three and Shoaib Malik and Hafiz in the middle. Pretty ideal in terms of the batting lineup. The only I think shortcoming for them is the spin department. I think Shadab, Imad Wasim, and even Hafiz. Hafiz, I would rate probably better than the two main frontline spinners. But none of these three spinners are, I would say, game breakers. None of them are. So if the likes of KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, or Hardik get stuck into these guys, I don't see much of a challenge, at least in terms of. And then these tracks, I think having quality spinners is going to be the key, and that's where I feel Pakistan is slightly short.
That's a great point. I think that's exactly why Varun Chakravarti has been drafted in from our side. One, he's a mystery spinner. Pakistan have not seen him before. And two, in this kind of a pitch, never know. But I think that's the only department in Pakistan which is loose. But batting, all-rounder and fast bowling, they are way ahead of us.
Now, I know Shadab Khan is sort of, sometimes he'll bowl lots of bad deliveries, but he's a good bat. I think generally if he gets his line and length right, he'll probably trouble the batsman. And considering this is a huge ground, the same pitch which was used for yesterday's abrupt game between England and West Indies. Vishak, your thoughts on the playing 11? I was discussing with Suman. I'm not so sure about Bhuvneshwar Kumar getting a game ahead of Shardul Thakur, who's been an absolutely red-hot form.
I was about to talk about the same. That's the only thing I think puzzles me. Bhuvneshwar Kumar ahead of Shardul Thakur. Shardul Thakur on current form should have been picked. Or if they needed an extra spinner, they should have gone for either Rahul Chahar or Ravichandran Ashwin. I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar on current form doesn't deserve a place at the moment. If they needed an extra pacer, they should have gone for Shardul Thakur. But looking at the pitch yesterday, if we are playing on the same pitch, not sure if we're playing on the same pitch or a different pitch, but if it's the same pitch, an extra spinner would have helped. Because yesterday, if you see, the ball was gripping, and someone like an Ashwin or Rahul Chahar would have definitely helped.
And it is the same pitch. Yeah,
I think the only reason why they did not go in with the extra spinner, and now I think it will be the right decision also because of the due factor. India was circumspect that if we lose the toss and we are bowling second, then spinners might become kind of a tough bet. So I think in that sense they had to, and especially against Pakistan, you kind of go in with three seamers when you don't have Hardik bowling. So against subcontinental team. So I think fair in the terms of the combination, but in terms of composition, probably Shardul could have been in place of either Bhuvi or Shami. But I think the call that they had to make was whether they wanted to have that extra batting at number 8 or they wanted to go with which is their best three seamers. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar, despite of I think form concern, due to the experience and his pedigree, he, Shami, and Bumrah I think are a top three seamers. So in that sense, I think it was a marginal call. I think it's a very team. It could have been either ways, and I think it's fine.
Plus, Ashwin is a pro at warming the benches now, so there's no surprise in there. Sorry, Suman.
Yeah, Ashwin is history. Look, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, as Adi said, is definitely on the reputation. And past T20 games versus Pakistan, Bhuvi has been very effective, especially swinging the ball right at the start. So we all know how India team management operate. They are all about matchups, right? Varun Chakravarti, mystery spinner, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar on the record. And clearly, Hardik Pandya is playing again, even though he might not bowl, is purely because of his batting history with Pakistan. He's got a history that he plays really well versus them. So all in all, looking forward for the game, as I said.
Vishak, so sixth bowling option, I can see Virat Kohli maybe bowling a couple of overs. Rohit Sharma maybe, talent might come into bowl, but I can't see Hardik Pandya suddenly coming into bowl in a crunch situation.
See, if Hardik Pandya had to bowl, I think Virat Kohli made it clear in one of the press conferences that Hardik Pandya is not ready to bowl, and they're playing him as a pure batsman, and they're okay with him batting at 6. That hitting capability is what they want at number 6. Someone who can come in and change the course of the game. So I don't think he is going to bowl. But Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, I'm not sure. As I mentioned in the preview as well, it could be in one of crucial games when one of your main bowlers goes for runs, and you have to depend on these Rohit Sharma, Suryakumar Yadav, and Virat Kohli. It could be disastrous. And sometimes even it could happen that two of your bowlers go have a bad day. It could be even more disastrous.
Hardik has said that he's not going to bowl. Sky was seen bowling in the nets. Save us if we have to go to the sixth bowling option. Aditya, let's quickly do some predictions. How much are India going to get?
That's a tough call, but I think IPL and looking at the entire T20 World Cup, I don't expect a very high scoring game till now. So, but the pitch from I think what Virat was also saying at the toss, it looks better than the Indian Premier League pitches. So I think probably 170 plus is what I'm expecting with my main player, my X factor player is KL Rahul. If he plays 20-25 balls, I don't see any Pakistan bowler except maybe Shaheen Afridi to some extent who can match his pedigree. And I think he's more dangerous than Virat Kohli. He's more dangerous than any other batsman in this format for India. So I think KL Rahul, my fingers are crossed. I wish he plays 15, 16 balls, middle some of them, and I think rest he will take care of.
And the KL Rahul, which played in the warm-up games, not the one which played the best part of Punjab Kings. We want him to absolutely fire and not worry about getting out and whatnot. So when Virat Kohli to Babar, that will be an interesting matchup. We will be in trouble if that happens, I think.
Yeah. Besides the bowling, I think Adi is right. With pitch being there 170 to 180 or between 170 and 190 is what I'm predicting. India will go ham. I don't think they will play out 20 overs. They will go bang bang for sure because pressure game and runs on the board. Anything over 180, I think Sahil is also pointing it out. With the dew factor, considering 20-30 runs in dew, that will bring up to 160, 150. So I'm looking at 175 plus.
Vishak, your prediction and who's the bowler to watch out for?
Sorry, Sanjay.
Who's the bowler to watch out for from Pakistan?
I would Shaheen Shah Afridi because he can swing the ball up front and he can also bowl at the death. And if he can report a few wickets at the start, it could be disastrous for us. So, that is why, as Adi mentioned, KL Rahul will be the key. How he goes at the start. If he can take on and I think Hafiz might also open the bowling to just contain, not give much pace to our batsmen. So I think how we bat in the first 6 overs, the power play, will decide the course of the match. So I'm also.
And I think by the time
score. So let's see, because that would be a good score. I think we have the bowlers to defend that.
Adi.
And I think by the time they call Hafiz for his action, I think he will slip in 2-3 overs today.
That's harsh, but yeah, at least he's not sitting out like Sunil Narayan because of fitness and not being, ready to bowl in international cricket because of concerns for being called out. This looks like very nicely set up. I personally think Virat Kohli is probably our man. We want him in form because he does really well against Pakistan, and Syed Hussain has pointed out that he's been knocked out in the last 3 matches against Pakistan. That might have been chasing, I'm guessing. I remember the 2016 was chasing. So who knows, 200? That will be a cracking game. Again, this is the same pitch which England West Indies played. It's just that the grass has been taken off. This is what they are saying. But if there is dew, I think India will probably need 20-run cushion rather than just having 150. My prediction is between 150 and 160. And this will be a very, very close encounter. Suman, as we've all been asking for this year, we need a bloody super over. We need a super over because that'll be great to watch. Anything else, Suman, you want to add?
Oh, national anthem is started. The game's about to start. Get your beverages, get your popcorn, get with your family and enjoy the show.
Yeah, may the best team win. Aditya, Suman, Vishak, thank you very much. And we'll see you guys during the mid-match show with hopefully India 180 plus. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.